I mean, you just saw the headline with the JetBlue guy who went ballistic.
Love that story.
People
Love that guy.
are at their wits' end.
Yeah.
They're having to take their kids out of private school or charter schools and move them into the public school.
Or they're having to do fundraising for public.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that they don't care about. I mean, the JetBlue guy's a perfect example because he's so popular, and JetBlue's getting hammered on Facebook. The headlines were not so great. This is a very frustrated guy. There's a disconnect between the story and the reality, and I do agree with you. Is that if I can't pay my rent, I don't care what I'm reading, I don't care what I'm seeing, exactly. I got a problem.
And people who do still read the paper or hopefully watch Strategy Room or Fox News.
Seriously, stop discouraging that, would you please?
Government employees are making $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000
more.
Yeah, but you know that whole political, like if you're in D.C., it's royal there. Everything's royal. You travel royal, you eat royal, you sit in really nice chairs. You know, nobody's taking away anything. It's not a real world when you're in D.C.
Well, they need to change.
Oh, of course, you know, of course they do. But it's also, it's a big. And by the way, I'm definitely not knocking this because I do PR for a living. But that's what this all is.
Yeah.
It's all PR. Everybody's. It's who's got the better PR.
So it's your fault.
It's my fault. Yes, me specifically.
More figuring out what you can and can't afford.
Yeah, but see, that's different from the plush chair that I sit in just about every office that I'm in D.C. That's different because I actually have to make the payroll or borrow against the line of credit.
Well, people that haven't had to do that will pass bills that will keep people in jobs and government jobs.
Well, yeah, I mean,
and not read the bill, which is why our friend E over here just started this new website called.
I hate it. Readtovote.org. I hate it. It's painful to read a bill. I'm not a lawyer.
I mean, but come on, guys. This is common sense. That the people you hire to go represent you in Washington should read the bills that they wrote before they vote on it, which is going to sock you with big new taxes and regulations.
Of course, absolutely.
It's outrageous.
That's criminal because that is the job that we put them in there to do. But we don't either. We elect them. We vote. We all argue about health care, whatever the debate is. We argue about it, and we don't know the facts either. So it's as much on us. It's as much our responsibility.
Wait a minute, E. If you are hiring, if you are voting somebody into office, you are hiring them to represent you. So you're trying to go about your life, trying to pay for the senior pictures for your high school senior. You don't have time to read the $3,000 Obamacare bill. That's what you hire your representative and your senator to do, and they're not doing it. And the fact that you had to launch that website, readtovote.org, is outrageous in and of itself. I'm glad you're doing it, but oh my God,
I know, but you know what? You're glad I'm doing it, but the reality is that, I mean, throughout history, this has been the case. I do believe if we elect somebody to go to Washington and represent us, the very least they can do is read the bill. But what they do is they give it to 27 interns who give 27 different interpretations. They form their opinion based on it. Then they look at the polls, and then they decide how they're going to vote. It has nothing to do with the details that are in the bill. I read the details that are in the bill, and I'm a little bit aghast about the whole thing, personally.
Mark.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, simple enough answer.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I read them, and I'm just one girl. I read them, going, okay, what is the percentage of my house if I sell it doing in the healthcare? Why would I look for my house in the healthcare bill? Why can't you just keep it on the right topics? Because you can't find anything. If you were actually trying to figure out what things, they're hidden.
But why is nobody saying? I mean, but hey, and I benefit from this. Why is nobody saying when we have things that are tacked onto bills in right before they're voted on that have nothing to do.
Amendments, crazy amendments.
Why is nobody they're not even connected? Of course they shouldn't. But why aren't we pissed off? Why are we not pissed off? I don't care whether you're Democrat or you're Republican. Well, you say we're pissed off, but and again, like I've been on this show pre-election, big rah-rah, yes we can, Obama supporter, and right now, if you look at the numbers, 20% of the far left. Which, give or take, is about what this country is, 20%. They still, and Obama has governed closer to the center than he has to the far left, yet the far left still totally supports him. They'll criticize him, but they still support him. Like, what? I don't get that. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and you know what? I want to bring that up because that reflects on to what Gibbs had to say, the White House press secretary, Robert Gibbs, a couple of days ago.
So,
I mean,
it doesn't matter how many pages it is, the future of our future, our kids' futures, the future of this country is at stake right now. So whether we can whether we can bring it back to 3 pages like the good old days, or whether it's just impossible because of, litigious reasons. Because those amendments make your head spin. The numbers make your head spin.
Well, because the lies.
Either way, it doesn't.
Decides. It sounds like now.
Well, I mean, in my mind, everybody will decide based on whether they can pay the rent or not. It won't matter what's in those bills.
I agree 100%.
And they will elect or not elect people based on that. And you will see that people who, like me, unfortunately, the poster child for the far left who's come center, because at this place,
Thank you.
But you will. I'm just open-minded. Just open-minded. I know we're in trouble, and I know this isn't working.
Yeah. All right, guys, hold your thoughts. I want to pick up on E's point about the far left still supporting Obama, and Robert Gibbs, the White House press secretary's comments earlier this week about what he called professional left. I'm Monica Crowley. Sit tight. So, what do you think was really behind Gibbs's comments?
Well, first of all, that job, and I know a lot of people who have had that job, you can be extraordinary at every once a week coming on a TV show. Getting up in front of the White House press corps, unlike when Kissinger was doing it during Watergate and literally would say, anybody have any questions for the answers I'm already giving? First time anybody had to be really schooled in being attacked by the press. That's what you get every day. The fact that I'm not sure if I agree at all that he's the worst press secretary in history. I think that's an awful job. It's an awful job when a president's approval ratings are dipping, because you're going to go right down with them, and you're going to have a much more aggressive press. I think he just made a mistake. I think that one of the things that job you have to do, sitting up there in that job, is not say the wrong thing. Because if you say the wrong thing, it does become the story of the day. That's the wrong thing.
So what's the definition of a professional left? Somebody who actually has a job?
Well, you guys were saying it was me, and I thought they got kicked out of the club.
I asked you like a professional
you run a company now.
What is a professional left? Somebody who owns a business? Somebody who...
It's just it's a stupid adjective. It's the professional left. I don't know. Who's the professional right? I mean, I have no idea. It's something that he probably...
Is the professional left like Huffington Post, Code Pink,
well,
those kinds of groups?
I guess, this week, I mean, and next week, they're going to be in trouble. Because there is, I mean, people have to realize, because I was part of the far left 13 months ago. I am no longer. I am somebody who is saying to myself, I see people all around me who cannot pay the rent. I can't sit here and just agree with everything. That doesn't mean because I have issues with some of the things that Obama's done that, I'm knocking the daylights out of him every day, but we're doing something wrong with the country.
But you're intellectually honest, and when, conservatives
well, you said I was,
like me
I was good looking. Now you're saying I'm intellectual too. Like, what's that? You did.
You get two.
We get to be
that the brain is the sexiest part of everybody.
Absolutely.
And what you're for is pretty much what everybody's for. That's the problem with why are we all...
Why are we...
there's so much
What's
more
the great debate here? And again, I'm going to get off this show. I'm going to get so much hate mail again for selling out the left.
We all love you.
I do. I mean, people do here, but I do. I get so knocked by my own party. This has been going on for at least 6 months. Just for saying, I'm sorry, but it's not working out. The things that we were being promised, nobody's meeting my expectations. I see it all around me.
And aren't you speaking the truth when you say that? I mean, isn't it
the
obvious
truth? But if I spoke at the Tea Party here at Times Square, New York. Only Democrat to go up on the stage. Like I was booed by both sides for doing that. I have no friends left now except on Facebook.
And here on Strategy.
Well, now on Strategy. But the thing is that all I was... It's your brain. I don't understand why nobody would take an invite to go up there. Why not? Why can we not get up on that stage and say, you know what, I voted for Obama, I still support Obama, but things aren't going right, and I think we all ought to be taking a very, very hard look at this. And since there's so many bright people around, we don't, as we were talking about before as managers of business, we don't have to be the smartest people in the room. Let's get all the smartest people in the room, and let's get all of their input, and let's make better decisions, because the ones that we've made so far, we can see the data. We can see it clearly.
Joe in New York says Amelia shouted to the rooftops. So you got a big shout out there.
You definitely do anyway.
Thank you. Who was that? I love you. Oh, that's Joe.
You got to sit in the green room with her. She can't shout that much.
I mean, thank goodness this guy didn't go hurt anybody. He grabbed 2 beers and went down the slide. JFK. But we
if
can
I was
laugh
his PR
about
guy, that's how I would have told him, man. That was very smart. Great story.
It does seem to be one of E. Eric Yaverbaum. What's up?
All I'm ever going to tell people is
readtovote.org.
Get involved. Don't get discouraged. Get involved. Let's all fix the country together.
Ericho Communications, readtovote.org. I love that you did that website, E. Thank you for being here. And I second your motion.
Thank you.
I second your motion about, can't we all kind of get it together here in America?